Hi, and welcome to the A Quilting Life Podcast. I'm Chelsi Stratton from Chelsi Stratton Designs.
And I'm Sherri McConnell from A Quilting Life.
And this episode is airing Monday, December 27th, right after Christmas.
Yes, we're so excited to be here.
Yes, we're so happy you're here. We have a lot, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube, some fun things to share.
Yes. And we're actually taping before Christmas.
Yeah.
But this is airing after Christmas. So so we can have a little bit of time off during the holiday.
So it's a belated Merry Christmas.
Belated Merry Christmas.
Belated Merry Christmas, guys. That was good. All right. So do you want to share your quilts first, or would you like to share things on the table first?
Yeah, let's share everything on the table first.
Yeah, there's a lot going on today.
Yeah, we have a lot to share. So first, we mentioned Quilter's clappers. I think it was on the podcast with Kimberly Jolly.
Yes.
And neither one of us had ever heard of them. And a couple of companies reached out to us, and we are so excited. Over in front of Chelsi are two different sizes of Quilter's clappers that were sent to us by Hard Rock Woodworks based out of Maryland. And this is a family-owned business that we'll put links to the site, but beautiful, beautiful clappers, very heavy and have the side grips on them. But also if you go to their shop, they have other beautiful products, cookbook holders, step stools, plant stands, just really some beautiful things you'll want to check out. And then I guess I can let you talk about the tools and the other clapper.
Yes. I'm also very excited. These are from Modern American Vintage, and they are also a family-based company. And I just really, really love their woodwork and just how unique their products are. They also do these quilting tools, and they're just awesome. And I just think they're just beautiful and so useful. And
I used the seam ripper the other day, and it was so nice to have a big seam ripper.
Yes.
Yeah, my other ones are so short.
It's the first thing I used, and I've already used the clapper. And so I just love it. And also just the sweetest, sweetest people. And I have one to share with you. I haven't brought it over yet. But he also included bazooka gum in the package. And I was like, oh, I used to have that all the time when I was a kid. And I thought that was super sweet. So you can check out their Instagram, Modern American Vintage, and their website. They have all of these tools available, all of the clappers available. And I think we're actually doing a giveaway with them mid-January-ish. Yeah. So be on the lookout on our podcast about that. So just some really great products from some awesome companies that we have really been enjoying. So
yeah. Okay, so we have a few other things on the table. If you don't have a calendar yet, I just wanted to mention that Patchwork Place 2022 quilt calendar. I have a quilt in here, and so it's August. I was gonna pull it open.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's from, let's see, this is a great calendar, but yeah, so it's
so pretty.
Yeah, my scrappy string quilt is in here. So, and the patterns are in here too, and I'll put a link to the calendar. And then also on the table is my Love Letters quilt. This is in the current issue of American Patchwork and Quilting.
It's so cute.
I love this one. It's actually I'm going to give it to Laurel, my little granddaughter. It's
my newest niece. Yes. She's so cute.
Yeah. So, but the pattern is in American Patchwork and Quilting, the most recent issue. And it uses our Sincerely Yours fabric, which is in stores and available now. So just a really fun project. I wanted to share that with you. And finally on the table is a flannel pillowcase made by Billy. So yeah, we filmed a video actually yesterday, and I showed Billy how to make the American Patchwork and Quilting pillowcase using the roll-up method, and that video should already be out by the time this airs, right?
Yeah.
Or soon.
Most likely that video will have already been out. So if it is, then check it out. If not, then it might be like
later this week.
Yeah, this week.
Okay.
So we're not 100% yet on the schedule.
I have to say, I'm very impressed.
He did a great job. He learned how to make French seams.
Look, just take a look at my seams, Chelsi. What do you
think?
think?
Know, just really look at this, no raw edges. Just Billy. He did a great job.
I think it looks good. I had no idea. It was sitting on the table when I got in this morning. And I had I'm like, why are we sharing a pillowcase?
Yeah.
What is going on? And
it's Primitive Gatherings flannel.
I was
so it's
just
really
going to say that. I was just going to say that. Now, the big question is, are you going to use it, Billy?
Oh, yeah.
I think he is.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to make anything that I'm not going to put to use.
You're not wasteful.
I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to come grab all this stuff? And
let's give Billy a big congratulations in the comments. Yeah.
Okay, hand me those.
Oh, yes.
And then we'll take this off so I can share the quilts.
Oh, yes. We still have her quilts on the wall and on the table. But I really, really love that quilt. I think it's the perfect baby quilt, for anyone to make.
And it would also be easier to make it bigger for a bigger kid. And also would be a great signature quilt for a bridal shower, a baby shower.
Totally.
Wedding.
Yeah. I love that.
So much fun.
So many different options to just add blocks if you want to make it bigger. And that's just perfect.
Yeah. So quilt on the wall is the summer fun block of the month. And I used Seashore Drive fabric quilts for today because it is going to be shipping in a month or so.
Yeah, it's shipping hopefully soon, so we'll have more updates on that when they come in.
Yes, and then this is the Sandcastles pattern on the table that I also did, and just two of my, I love all my quilts with this collection. It was hard to pick two, but just wanted to share these, and I think we're kind of ready to begin now, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You did that thing again that I love. You added a low volume mixed in on the sashing. Guys, she does this all the time. And I really, really love it. Anyways, and the quilting on this one is just so, so pretty.
Yes. We should mention that. The one on the table is quilted by Miriam Bott.
Yeah.
And the one on the wall was quilted by Val Krieger.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have to ask Marian about this
pattern.
This pattern because that is so cute. I love that.
I can't remember off the top of my head which one this is, but
I know I need to start writing more of them down. I have a list of a few.
Yeah.
But I need to write all of them down.
Yeah, she usually writes them on the bill.
Does she?
Mm-hmm. She usually does put the
pattern.
Then
I have them all.
So
I just got to go dig through my file.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So okay, well, we're super excited about today's episode.
Yeah.
It's kind of a year-end review and goals episode.
Yeah. And I can't believe it. I think that's why I'm so excited to talk about it because I feel like this year was just boom.
Yes.
Super fast.
Yes. I can't believe it's going to be 2022 at the end of this, right after this airs.
Oh my goodness.
So I created the outline for this, and so they are free to jump in, Chelsi and Billy, with whichever of these items they want to comment on. I thought that would be really fun to include Billy in some of these sections. So we're going to start out with a year-end statement. I don't know if they both did those, but I did one. So I thought this is going to be fun. Just a few sentences. Just a summing up 2021, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do one?
I'm going to have you start.
Okay.
I did read it.
Yeah, I'll have something.
Yeah. I have something to say.
Okay.
I just want to.
Okay. So I actually wrote this down, so I'm going to read it.
Oh, awesome.
So this is my 2021 year-end statement. I am grateful for the challenges of 2021, for the things I learned to appreciate more, and for the things that prompted me to make changes. I came to realize my work-life balance needed to be adjusted even more during 2021, and I'm looking forward to an organized and joyful 2022. So,
I love that.
Oh, thanks.
I love that. I think just My statement is kind of the same. There were a lot of things. I had intentional things that I was focused on for 2021. And I just want to say I'm really grateful for this year as a whole because I learned a lot. And I think I've caught myself saying that this year I have continually been learning. And I'm just grateful for the progress and even the mistakes that I could better. And that's what it's all about. It's about going into a new year and just trying to improve yourself and continuing to progress along the path that you've chosen. And so I'm grateful for that, and I'm excited for the new year.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, Billy.
All right. Mine was more just about the podcast. So we did an entire full calendar year of 2021 now that we're doing this episode of podcasting. So cool. We started in 2020, but
partway through the year.
Yeah. So this 2021, we did a whole calendar year of podcasting, and we never missed a scheduled episode.
Right.
And that's pretty.
Pat yourselves on the back, guys.
Yeah, I think so. We will pat ourselves on the back because for podcasting and podcasters, sometimes you set a schedule, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I get it. We don't do it every week, but even still, it's not the easiest thing in the world to never miss a scheduled episode. That life happens, things happen. Not saying that maybe someday we won't miss one, but
right.
I think that's the thing I look at, and we did a good job. We switched it from first and third Mondays to second and fourth, but it's the same amount of episodes, So
right.
That was just my year-end statement is that. And that it's grown. So
right.
we've grown it. Obviously, if you're going to do a podcast and if you peak and then start dying off, then it's harder as well. But we really appreciate all the listeners. It has grown. We've reached more people and more platforms and everything. So it's been really fun, and it's really fun to see something you create and grow it and have it be successful. So I've enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I want to just say one more. I agree. I appreciate all of the listeners, and I read the sweetest comments all the time. Someone told me, I listen to this on my way to work. This is kind of part of my morning routine every other week. And that it just makes me so happy to hear those things. So
yeah, we really appreciate all the wonderful feedback that we get. So yes. Okay. So the next thing I put on the list was favorite accomplishments from 2021. So I'll go first. I listed 3. I'm kind of trying to do things in 3s so that I don't get these big, long.
3 is a good number.
Yes. 25 goals or something that I'll never realistically do. So I did my accomplishments. I did 3. So they are the Quilting Life Planner and Workbook, which was completely written and published in 2021. Really excited about that. Love my small planner, but almost as soon as I had it in my hands, I started thinking about the full-size version. And we are actually doing a monthly video for that to help you get organized. That'll be here on the YouTube channel. The next one, this is kind of cheating because it's actually 2 in 1, but I love all of my Sincerely Yours and Seashore Drive quilts. So I put that all just in one category. It's actually probably 12 quilts but love those all. And then the third.
You could summarize it and say you love all your 2021 fabric released quilts.
Yes. That perfect.
Helped you out.
Yes.
Billy.
Thank you.
Always saving the day.
Yeah. And then the final one is the Christmas book that I did with Chelsi that will be coming out in 22. We did that entire book in 2021.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to share cover image soon. We've seen it, but we haven't gotten the approved final image to share.
It's so cute.
We're really excited about all those projects, and I've got some recipes in there and some decorating and just all kinds of things. It's more than just Christmas projects.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. So those are my top 3, I think, accomplishments for A Quilting Life.
Yeah. I love those. The main one I wrote down is funny because Billy just talked about this, about the podcast not missing,
Right.
a day. Mine was meeting deadlines. I think especially I'm just really grateful for finishing fabric deadlines. Those are super important to me and Mom. Those are important to both of us, but especially just this past couple weeks, I had one that I needed to meet, and I just feel I'm proud of myself for finishing up some really awesome fabric lines that everyone will be able to see in 2022. So that's really nice. The next one was going to be the Christmas book.
That's okay, I think.
Yeah, I'm really grateful.
Together.
Yeah, I'm grateful we both feel it was such an accomplishment, because I know it was a lot of work for both of us, and it was my first time really getting a feel of the whole process of a book. Like, I have been a part of books and contributed, but never like this. And I'm grateful for that learning process. And I kind of really appreciated Mom more because she has written books herself, and this just kind of gave me a feel for that process. And so that was one of my favorite accomplishments. And then I was going to say the same thing. I feel like the quilt patterns that I designed and made, I feel those are accomplishments too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love them. I
Yeah.
absolutely loved them. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
So grateful for my favorite accomplishments this year. So
Awesome. What about, are you stepping in on this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll got a couple of things. So
Okay.
yeah, the podcast is definitely what I already said about that would be an accomplishment. But
Right.
Also we did one live stream, and I think I mentioned that last year. I'm like, I want to look into doing live streams. We didn't do, we only did one, but I
Right.
think we maybe we'll have a few more next year.
Well, we kind of did too, because we were on the Fat Quarter Shop one, and that involved a lot of work for you.
Yeah.
Setting that up technologically.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of did too.
And that was good too, because I learned something about how we could maybe have guests with more than just over the phone, but on Zoom or some other type of streaming device too. So
Right.
that may be more of a goal thing, but yeah. So we did a live stream. I'm happy with the growth also that we did just on the YouTube channel. So again, we're recording this early, but I'm guessing we'll be hitting that 60,000 subscriber mark by the end of 2021.
Yay.
So, and it's, I don't, have we ever talked about that? How we jumped more on YouTube at the beginning of
the pandemic.
like right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, because weren't we just around 4,000 subscribers then?
So I got an email. I was at a minor league baseball game in February of 2020. This is before everything started turning upside down. And that's when I got an email saying like, oh, your channel, and we had just done things sporadically, like nothing consistent. And I got an email, and I just was on my phone and saw that the game, like, oh, your channel's had enough views and subscribers to be monetized. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I actually called my mom, like, hey, I got this email, like we should maybe try to do some more videos. And then 2 weeks later, obviously, everything shut down.
The world shut down.
So I was like, well, I'm working from home now. Might as well go try it out. And so so February 2020 to now the end of 2021, we went 4,000 to 60,000. It's just that's I guess been the big accomplishment in both 2020 and 2021. Just a lot of hard work. It's not easy, and obviously that doesn't happen if my mom didn't already have a successful blog for 10 years before that. But so that was a good transition, but it's been, I see it as an accomplishment for 2021.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I remember you calling me that day from the baseball game. And then I also remember a couple weeks later when the school district superintendent closed the schools. Mm-hmm. And I remember talking to you, I think that evening, well, when are you going to come out so we can film videos?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It really is like so crazy when you think about it, just how things worked out. And
yeah.
Wow.
And that was really when the podcast idea started.
Yeah.
For
and
me
then
too.
and then it was that summer we did some videos, and then we were like, we should do podcast.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
Yep, it all rolled out. So it's funny how things work out.
Yes.
Definitely.
And now I'm making pillowcases.
Who could have guessed, you guys?
I love that.
Who would have ever guessed?
So,
That is so funny.
oh, that is good. So challenges from 2021.
We've got them, guys.
We've got them.
We've got them.
I actually just put one, but it's a big one. I feel like it was the thing that I worked on throughout the entire year. And I feel like I have a good handle on it now. I still have further to go, but that's life, right? Learning and growing. But I just feel like work-life balance was my biggest challenge because of the pandemic and because I was home so much and working so much. And I feel like I kind of overdid it maybe for a little bit. And then I had to kind of back up and learn how to work from home. Before I feel like everything was always broken up by attending Quilt Market and giving guild presentation. You were traveling, and that's a lot of work too, but it also has a relaxation element to it. So without any of that, I feel like my work-life balance just got out of kilter, and that was my challenge.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go right off of what you just said. That was the biggest thing for me, was being a mom and running a business, because half of my year I was still homeschooling.
Right.
And the other half I wasn't, because I sent the girls back to school. And so it was this huge adjustment, because I was I was trying to balance doing homeschool in the morning and work in the afternoon the first half of the year. And I got really, really burnt out because I expected so much of myself. And then kind of the opposite. Then during the summer, I was just like, I need some time off, but it was learning that balance.
Right.
And then when the school year started and the girls went back to school, it was like I had to readjust.
Right.
There was 2 kids at school, and then I just had my youngest at home, and I was readjusting to my new time frame.
Yeah.
And it was really, really challenging, and it was really hard on myself this year, and I am taking that lesson into the next year to be a little bit kinder and to just be a little bit, more intentional about my time and how I balance it. I don't need to go 100 miles an hour every single day. And that was the hardest part for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that.
I'll just comment on a few that maybe not even that personal, but just some things that I've observed with working with you guys. And a lot of them also could be like global challenges. But one, I know I've seen my mom and sister be pretty stressed out because of shipping, of how things, that's just been a challenge for everybody. Obviously we know a lot about that all over the world, but I know that's something that's probably been tough for quilters to, just depend on these things that used to run a lot more smoothly, but 2021 presented a lot of different challenges that carried over from 2020. You know what I mean? And so I think that, and then just 2021 was probably better than 2020. More things opened up, but still you guys didn't have any quilt markets in 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys just went to your very first guild meeting, right? In over a year.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
St. George, Utah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So you had missed out on all that. Like you mentioned, the traveling and everything. So I think those are challenges too, because it's probably good to get out of the house, go to different places, get into brick and mortar quilt shops, guilds, classes, quilt markets. And you guys didn't have that for a long time. And
Right.
I think that's sort of challenging for you guys as quilters and in your industry to not have some of those outlets that you usually have.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're hoping that Salt Lake Quilt Market in April will be a go, and
We hope.
that you can come and experience that too for the first time. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We are crossing our fingers.
Yes, we're hoping things are looking good. So, okay, so 2022 personal goals. I did 3 goal categories.
Yeah.
Personal goals, quilting or business goals. And then at the end, we're also going to talk about micro goals, which are small goals that create larger outcomes than it might seem.
Yes.
So we'll just take those one at a time. And my personal goals, those can go super quickly. I just want to really keep journaling weekly. I started that in 2021, and it's really, really been helpful. Even if it's just, I have a little notebook, even if it's just one page at the end of the week, I just kind of write down what I accomplished that week and what I hope to do the next week. And sometimes if there was a special event, I'll note that. But it's just really simple, but I really want to keep that up and not miss a week. I may have only missed 1 or 2 weeks all of 2021. So that, and then reading, I want to read 2 books a month. So, and then for health, I didn't set a specific goal like, lose this many pounds or that, but I want to just really regularly review what I'm eating and just and I'm also trying to do the half my body weight in ounces of water each day.
That is so good for you.
I feel like water for your skin, for your health. And so just like, I didn't want those goals to be so hard that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with them.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's my personal.
I love that you brought up the water one though, because you know how like you get those recipes and stuff and it's like just add water. Like that's like the simplest thing we can do.
Right.
Like just add water, guys.
Yeah.
Add water, it'll make everything better.
Yes.
No, mine are pretty simple as far as personal goals, and they'll go quickly. Being more intentional with my time. I talked about that in my challenges. I was really, really good. I got a different planner this year than I did the last year, and it was good. And I used the entire planner.
Oh, good.
But I did find myself pushing things to different days, and I just want to be more intentional. Sometimes my lists would be, I'd put like 10 to 15 things on a Monday. Oh. It's just not doable. You got to be more intentional. So I have learned over the year, just space them out, and that's okay. Like as long as you're, meeting deadlines and stuff. So just being even more intentional with my time than I was this year. I learned a lot this year. Journaling and writing, I want to be better about. I really like to write. Just anything. So journaling and writing is another one. My journaling always seems to peter off a little bit. And then my next one is kind of along the lines of water and health. Skincare, guys. I talked about that last year, but in the past 2 months, I've been super intentional about my skincare, and I've been really, really happy about it. And just mental health. So those are mine.
Yeah. Love that. Okay, I think Billy had already said he wasn't going to share any personal goals.
I'll share one personal goal.
Okay.
Oh, share one. I'm so excited.
I want my golf handicap to lower.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
That's my goal every year. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome. My husband went golfing. We spent Thanksgiving in California with our youngest son, and my husband and my youngest son, they went golfing, and I think they tied technically, and that was it's really fun for my husband that both of his sons love golf.
They do.
Yeah.
They
Sean
both enjoy golfing.
Because Sean jumped in later.
Just last year.
Billy's been golfing a long time.
Yeah. So, okay. So business goals. I think I just have 2 of these. Let's see. Oh, yes. I have 2 business goals. One of them is to have a 4-day work week. And
ooh, that's a good one.
I have played around with this and thought, do I want to work Monday through Friday and just have it shorter days? Or do I really just want Friday, Saturday, Sunday off? And I've chosen the 4-day work week. And so that's my goal for 2022, to really get that. I've been doing pretty well with the holidays. I've been, taking off time to decorate.
You've already started this?
I've kind of started it.
You'll have to tell me how it goes, because I just can't wrap my brain around that.
So, and sometimes it's not always where I get those 3 days off in a row. Like, like this week I took Tuesday off. I didn't do anything. I just got ready, to decorating and stuff. Okay. So 4-day work week. And then for the business, I want to do quarterly content scheduling. I've been doing monthly content scheduling. So for example, I know in November, pretty much everything that is going to be on my blog and the YouTube for December. But I want to push that ahead to where I quarterly schedule all of that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that will give me a lot more peace of mind and lessen my stress for that. So those are my business goals.
Mine, my biggest one is one that I have written almost every week in my planner this year. And it is more work for my blog and an email list. I have been talking about that forever. There's so many. I just called Billy the other day. I'm like, oh, I got to get a post out about something for the Quilt Along for January. And it's just working on those tiny little things that are simple that will help. So like Tailwind, Pinterest, my blog, and an email list were like the biggest things. And I just want to make sure I'm being intentional about those for my business. And then there's just a couple more changes I want to make, like in my shop too, just like on my Instagram page. Like I want to offer more kits, and I think that's it. I get asked that question a lot by people. So that's something I'm thinking about doing more.
Awesome.
So yeah, just building my business is basically what I'm focusing on this year.
Yeah. And then Billy, I know you're going to talk about.
Yeah. So I guess it's a goal that's also sort of an announcement, I guess, because one thing that I've been talking to my mom about, and after talking to people like Pat Sloan, Jenny Doan, I'm trying to think of, there was somebody else that mentioned Facebook groups as well.
Maybe Kimberly.
It might have been Kimberly. Yeah. You know, after those podcasts and listening to them talk and knowing that my mom and sister have a Facebook group, but because you guys are very busy and it's just, I don't know, it's just sort of tough for you guys to get to there a lot. We talked about me becoming a moderator. Is that what it's called? Moderator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like an admin.
Yeah, on the group to help lighten you guys' load on that. And as you guys know, I don't have answers for everything, but if what I can do is help take a lot of questions, give some feedback, and then put it in a place more organized for my mom and sister to answer those questions. So basically copy and paste your questions, put it somewhere so that my mom and sister can access it, you know, faster and quicker. That way they don't have to scroll through everything. And then I can take those responses and give them back to the people in your group.
Yeah.
I just feel like that was something that talking to those ladies that's important for your community, for the quilting community, and it could help. So that's sort of one of my goals that I want to step into a little more with you guys' business is help with that, with the Facebook group.
I love that. And
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think we could use Trello for that. And also it made me feel good when I realized, because I think it was Pat Sloan talked about her friend that does that for her Facebook group.
Oh, really?
And it made me feel so much better. Like, oh yeah, she's not doing everything by herself.
Yeah.
You know, there is
a lot of work.
Yeah. And you know, some of the people that I know, they have whole teams of people.
Yeah.
And, that are huge people, you know, but yeah, if you could do that, that would really be helpful. And then we can answer the questions that we need to answer. And,
Yeah. And then so hopefully that's something, guys, to look forward to in 2022, which now is only a few days away.
Yeah.
When you're listening to this. So me, and then possibly also my girlfriend you might see a couple new moderators. So we've talked to her about doing that on some of her free time as well. So there's that goal. Also, one more thing with Facebook. Facebook is also now launching like a podcast player in the Facebook group.
Oh,
so
wow.
I know a lot of people a lot of listeners also use Facebook as the main thing. So that might be a new avenue, and maybe even we can post the videos there sometime in the future this year. That hasn't been announced yet, but they're sort of anticipating it. So Facebook could become a lot bigger platform for the podcast too.
Right.
And then another goal is just continue to help create new content for the YouTube channel. I mean, obviously I know I'm dependent upon my mom for that because she's the star of the show, but I was thinking of other things I could just add, like as you guys travel more, like if I go to Quilt Market, I want to get footage of Quilt Market, maybe get some more footage that's more behind the scenes type things, and think of a way to create videos for that. If you guys would be interested in seeing things like that, that's not so much just about quilting tutorials or quilting, but just a look at if my mom goes to another guild thing and we have permission to film a little bit of it. And so just things like that. I wanted to liven up the YouTube channel, add different things. And like I said, like we already talked about the pillowcase, but so we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna. We got to see how this video is received,
how it
goes. I already know, again, I'm speaking in the past here, but I already know this edit is going to take a long time because we have a lot of footage. If my mom had done it, it would have been 5-minute video, but it's going to take a long time to edit this whole thing up. And so we'll see. I'll have to weigh that out. But
it was,
maybe. Yeah.
It was funny. We played just a little bit of it back, and, there's me standing in the background. Don't pull the fabric, push the fabric, make sure you're lined up with the tape,
We want to see this in the video.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more entertaining than instructional or educational. Like my mom still teaches you how to do it.
I think people want to see that interaction.
Yeah.
The real interaction, Billy.
Yeah. And it also would have been nice to just have somebody behind, because I just set up the camera like, okay, it looks good. Then I went and would go sit, and then a couple of the things I looked at, I'm like, oh, my arm's like
your
blocking
arm
should have called
on
me.
the thing. So I'll make it work.
I'm sure there's enough good footage, because we spent 2 hours filming this pillowcase video.
Mom texted me. She's like, we spent 2 hours doing this. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So it'll be fun.
So those are my goals to help contribute this year.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so quilting goals I separated from business, and I just have... Let's see. I'm going to do the scrappy double wedding ring this year. I talked about this in my December projects video, which should have already aired, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and I kind of shared the technique and the templates that I'm going to use for that. And I'm going to use all Sherri and Chelsi fabrics. I'm super excited about that. I'm also going to do my cheddar quilt for sure this year. It was a 2021 goal that I never did, but I got the fabric for it thanks to a wonderful friend. And so I have my cheddar fabric. So that was the first step. Now I can do that. And then I want to finish a long-term work in progress each quarter. I've got this plus side quilt and this village quilt and the sampler spree quilt are 3 that I really, I've enjoyed having them be long-term works in progress, but I'm ready to finish them up and get some new long-term works and projects. For example, like the double wedding ring and stuff. So maybe those will be the 4 works in progress that I really finish for 2022.
Yeah.
So
I only have a couple, and the main one, I guess it could have gone along with the business one as well, but I want to do more videos on the podcast with Billy and I.
On the YouTube channel?
On the YouTube channel. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. And Billy and I talked about this on the phone, I think yesterday or the day before, because I have the Quilt Along for Be Mine coming up in January. And so everyone will be, you probably, by the time this airs, have heard more about that on my blog and my Instagram. But I want to do more with him. I feel like last year I was still juggling a bunch of stuff, and we talked about scheduling things, and it didn't always happen. And so those videos of me have been hit or miss. So I plan on doing more things for that. That's basically my quilting goal. And guys, forgive me. Mom knows what I'm going to say.
I do.
Curved piece. Curved piecing, guys. It's going to happen. I have the pattern. It's by Lelo Boutique. It's her flower pattern. That's the one I'm going to do because...
With our fabric,
With our fabrics.
Yeah,
but Mahalo is a lot more work, and hers is just a couple per block. And so that's the one I'm going to do, guys. Hold me to it. It's going to happen because I talked about it all this year as a goal and never did it. So,
well, you're in a better spot because last year you just said curve piecing.
Oh, yeah,
but now you actually have a pattern.
Hey,
it's specific and actionable.
So
thank you, guys.
You're in a better place now.
These are my friends, guys. Thank you. Yeah. So I have the pattern, and it doesn't seem too daunting. So those are my main 2 quilting ones. So yeah.
I love that. Okay, I don't know. Do you have a quilting goal? Or are you going to make a quilt, Billy?
Well, I guess, like I said, about again, we'll see how the edit goes, and we'll see how it's received, and who knows if there's another simple thing I can work on.
Project.
Hey, his foot is already past the door frame, so I mean the pillowcase counts as something.
We'll see. Yeah, so maybe that's to be determined.
Yeah.
TBD, guys.
So I'm just going to finish up with 3 little micro goals.
Love these.
Yeah. And so I am going to develop a better morning routine. I feel like sometimes I get up, I get dressed, I come in here and I check my email. And, I feel like I want to, all this reading that I want to do and this journaling. I feel like it might be better in the morning doing some of that and just really getting to a good place before I come in and start the emails and the work stuff. So morning routine is a micro goal. Walking 10,000 steps, I put 5 times a week. I just feel like I can't do it every day. There are just some days, Sundays, I never get my 10,000 steps in ever. So I did that for 5 days a week that I can walk 10,000 steps. And then my third one was to try a new recipe each week. And I really do like cooking. And there are so many great, I kind of go down the recipe blog tunnel, and some of you who read my Saturday 7 probably know that. Sometimes I'm sharing 5 or 6 recipes each Saturday that I find. So I just want to try one new recipe every week. So those are my 3 micro goals.
I love micro goals.
Yeah.
And I was so glad that you added them to this. She put a lot of good ones on here. My favorite one, and I chose a few actually from this list because I'm like, these are so good.
Uh-huh.
My first one is developing a morning routine because I talk about this all the time and I never do it. I'm always like, if I just woke up 30 minutes earlier, even 30 minutes, that's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
Like you can develop such a better morning routine. And everyone's morning routine is going to look a little bit different.
Right.
But I loved that you mentioned that because I heard from Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
Oh,
he said, do not touch your phone until you do 3 things. You have a list. Maybe that's making your bed, brushing your teeth,
right?
Having, just having breakfast. Then you can move on. So just having an intentional morning routine, that's my number 1. The next, this looks different for everyone, but I have done this before, is meditating or pondering 10 minutes a day. You could just take 10 minutes to think.
Yeah.
No, nothing else, just 10 minutes to yourself and makes it just so much better.
I love that. I almost picked that one.
Oh, it's so good. And I've done it before, but I'm not consistent.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try to be more consistent about that. And it doesn't, anyways, going to be more consistent about that, you guys. And then mine was walking too, because I had walked a lot this year. And then I had like a small knee injury and I was running and doing more aggressive like workouts and I hurt my knee and I was really, really upset because I feel bad, but I have never had an injury like that. And I played a lot of sports growing up. And I knew I needed to rest. And so I have been implementing my husband bought me some new shoes and I was really, really nervous, but I've been walking with little knee pain. And so I've had to do a few other things to help with that, but I want to get into more walking because I know other things just aren't doable right now. So walking. Okay. Maybe not 10,000 steps a day, Mom, for 5 days a week, 5 times a week, but so gonna do that and hopefully not cause any more injury.
Yeah, if you don't change up your exercise routines or athletics, the things you do with your age, you're gonna eventually injure yourself.
I know, and that is like
and it's hard when you and I think we already mentioned it, like when you turn 30, because I've been there, Chelsi. That's where you gotta sort of like rethink a few things and be like, all right, you're not in your 20s anymore. maybe you can't do all those things as hard as you used to be able to do them. So
yes, and I'm glad you brought this up because it's literally happens the year I turn 30. And so I can't go on these inclines and declines like I used to. And I was doing these workouts that were really hard on my knees and I didn't realize it. And then had this crazy injury. And so I've had to, I did cheat once because a couple weeks ago I played in an alumni basketball game and I was very sorry for doing that.
Yeah, we were sad to miss that over Thanksgiving.
Guys, it's my one thing every year that I love to do when Mom and Dad were gone, but it's okay. I did score 10 points and they weren't there to see it. So, but no, we're all getting older. Thanks, Billy, for reminding me. But
I told Sean about that and he said, oh, maybe I'll come home for Thanksgiving next year and I'll play in the alumni game too.
Should.
He'll get Billy.
He'll be here for this year's. The boys
boys are doing it for Christmas?
Yeah, the boys had to cancel for Thanksgiving weekend and they rescheduled it for Christmas break. So I'll have to call him.
Maybe he'll be
Billy.
here.
Billy.
No, I'm not doing it. No.
Oh, but so it was a lot of fun. But the knee, guys, it's a thing.
Yeah. Okay, micro goals. I think Billy said no.
Oh, Billy's not
I'm good.
micro goals.
But he does have some Apple podcast reviews.
Yes,
Yay!
I got a couple new ones.
We love these.
That I thought were pretty good. Okay, so the first one, titled My Fave, this duo keeps me motivated to continue to learn more about quilting. Every episode has been such a bright point in my life, especially during COVID. They and the people they interview seem so positive and they make me feel empowered to continue learning. Their voices are also calming, a big plus when listening for hours and hours. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate this.
I'm glad we could be like a positive in your day. Yeah. That makes me so happy.
And again, especially, during COVID, like you guys have talked about in other podcasts. So this one is one of the best podcasts, titled, I love this quilting podcast. It's folksy yet well organized. I always learn something new. I love the different sections of the podcast and the interaction between mother and daughter. The interaction between mother and daughter is wonderful. The podcast makes my quilting and kitchen cleaning time much more interesting. Thank you. I also recently purchased Sherri's planner, and it too looks great, and it's going to be a big help in getting organized for quilting.
Awesome.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So those are two pretty recent ones.
I like that term, folksy.
Folksy.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I like it.
I do.
So you guys have a folksy feel.
Yeah. I like that too. Like that's something that I wish I would have thought of.
Yeah.
I love
that.
So, yeah. So, okay, well.
Yes. So our next podcast episode is airing Monday, January 10th, 2022. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Awesome.
So everyone have a safe and happy New Year.
Yes.
This upcoming weekend.
Yes, that will be this weekend. And thanks so much for stopping by.